Cool.
Are you giving it back to me or do you leave it like this?
So let me see whether I can make you host. That's fine. We'll go ahead. I think conscious of time.
So you must leave those new participants. You have to let them in.
That's fine. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. So my name is Sandeep Ranavre. I'm Senior Agile Coach, Consultant, as well as Founding Director of Agility Academy. I have interacted with few of you in past, and there are a few new faces. So thanks for joining this session. So today we are going to talk about enterprise agility. This is roughly agenda which we have got for this 1 hour session. We'll look into the need for enterprise agility, why it's important in today's world. Uh, as most of you are aware, there are different organizations who are coming with different agility approaches at organizational level, enterprise level. So what's the key difference between enterprise agility, classic agility? Sometimes it's referred as a technical or tactical agility, as well as business agility. That's something we are going to cover. Another thing, quite importantly, is how this enterprise agility look like. What are its different layers? What are the different competencies which are present in this? That will be explored further, and we'll end this session with quite exciting learning opportunity. So we'll be talking about enterprise agility foundational course, which is certified change consultant. What is there in that course, and what different tools, tips, techniques you can learn. Also on 6th of November, we are having Enterprise Agility World Conference, and I'm more than happy to share discounted tickets with those participants who are interested. So keep an eye for that, and towards end we'll have question and answer session. So that's pretty much what we have got today. At the end of on each of this slide, because I know few people might not have joined, and if you are curious to get connected with me, you can find my details at the bottom, as well as there is a QR code which will take you to Agility Academy website where you can find more details. So with this, let's commence this session by understanding why enterprise agility is so important in today's world. So let me play this less than 1 minute video, which will help you understand.
The way companies manage change has undergone dramatic shifts in recent years. One thing has become clear. Human beings are not physiologically prepared for the constant alterations in processes, roles, and ways of working. That's why at Enterprise Agility University, we have developed the most advanced courses to help change consultants from all over the world meet the new needs. Find out today how we can help you succeed. Enterprise Agility University, where science meets organizational change.
So as you have seen in that particular video, when we talk about enterprise agility, we are not just talking about framework, tools, and agile practices. We are talking about what's essential for any organizational change to sustain. And can you please put yourself on mute? If you...
You can also unmute everybody.
Yeah, thanks very much. So when we talk about enterprise agility, we are referring about what goes inside human brain, what needs to be done to sustain that change. And those who are working in agile world, you might have seen a lot of transformation kicking off with a lot of enthusiasm, but not really delivering real outcomes. And even if you are working as a scrum master, team coach, agile coach, or team leader, whenever there's a new change which needs to be introduced, it is not sustainable unless you have got people the who are quite crucial in that change on board it. So enterprise agility has come up with the approach wherein there is quite a lot focus put on what goes in human brain, what things needs to be considered before any change needs to be introduced. And there are different ways through which you can tackle that anxiety, nervousness which is present in any individual whenever there's a new change which needs to be incorporated. Uh, as shown here, there is a need for enterprise agility because several companies have put too much focus, spend a lot of dollars, money, amount, effort on uplifting technology stack, on bringing in new processes, coming up with the new frameworks or agile methodologies. But at the end of the day, there was a lot of resistance. There was resistance from the people on the ground, from the middle management, senior executives, so on and so forth. And as a result of that, there was a gap in terms of what people were trying to achieve and what organization was trying to achieve. And because there was this uh, lack of alignment between people and the strategy, which is quite crucial to deliver outcome faster in today's world, uh, there is strong pressure or a lot of pressure on the people on the ground, and individuals couldn't cope up with that change. As a result of that, you might have heard about zombie scrum, zombie stand up, or just doing things for the sake of it. So a lot of organizations, teams, groups started adopting agile practices without understanding underlying principles, without understanding what needs to be done in order to make that change stick. If you want to compare enterprise agility with classic agility is nothing but an umbrella of different agile frameworks which are predominantly used in today's world. Those were created on basis of agile manifesto, which was created in 2001. So those four values and 12 principles are the one which guide all those well-known agile frameworks like scale agile framework, Scrum, Kanban, Lace, large scale Scrum, so on and so forth. Whereas when we look at enterprise agility, it has taken approach based on the science, based on the what goes within human brain when it comes to incorporating any changes. Keeping that thing in mind, what we have got here, we have got a five agilities: technical agility, outcome agility, structural agility, social agility, and quite importantly, mental agility. And we are going to look into all those five type of agility shortly. And there are three dimensions: individuals, exponential market, and strategic innovations. For any company to thrive, survive in today's market where things are changing so fast that well established organizations are struggling to retain existing market share, it becomes quite important to have right kind of focus on the individuals who are at the foundation or pillar of any organizational change, and at the same time keeping an eye on delivering those innovative solutions by exploring different potentials or different challenges or different opportunities which are present in the market. Another way, you might have heard about business agility. So how it's different from the business agility? When we talk about classic agility or agility which is born when Agile Manifesto was created 20 years back, it was all about coming up with the idea that we want to change the way software is getting developed. We want to bridge that gap between business and IT, and that is applied at team level. Sometimes it got applied in multiple teams. Business agility movement started 10 years back in 2012, where it was acknowledged that those four agile values and 12 principles, they can be applied beyond software and IT world. And that's when this movement started to apply all those principles, practices in another area like marketing, HR, sales, finance, so on and so forth, with the goal that we want to embrace agility. We want to have that agile culture in an entire organization to meet those customers needs. Enterprise agility, it was born in 2018, 3 years back. There's a lot of research done when this particular approach was produced, and there was a lot of research done in terms of what goes in human mind, what happens when there's a new change which is introduced, how any person behave when he or she is asked to change the way they are working since last decade or so. And if you want to tackle those challenges, if you want to build that culture of collective responsibility, if you want to come up with the approach which will consider team health, employee well-being at the forefront, what kind of tools, tips, techniques you need to apply. So all those things are considered when enterprise agility was found. So that's the key difference. Classic agility purely focused on what's mentioned in Agile Manifesto, focusing on improving ways of working from software development teams. Business agility expanding what was mentioned in uh, 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 Agile Manifesto across non-IT organizations. And enterprise agility is all about practices, mindset, behaviors, which are quite crucial to incorporate change at a large scale at enterprise level without compromising on employee, team, as well as organizational health. Quite often, you will see that many organizations put a lot of focus on just on top of what's mentioned on top of this cake, which is nothing but classic agility mindset. When focus is put on implementing either Scrum, Scale Agile framework, or coming up with hybrid agile model, where uh, agile practices, frameworks, cadences, all those things have been quite often put focus on. Whereas if you want to make real change, through a lot of research, what has been found that you need to tackle those organizational changes at different level. So,
There is no range to his
sorry, can you go
family.
on mute?
Second generation householder Damien is in charge of the move on the night.
All right.
Mute.
So, so when we talk about enterprise agility, we are talking about five different types of agility. It starts with acknowledging that to incorporate any change, existing mental frameworks, existing model through which those changes are incorporated is not enough, because all human beings go through a lot of stress. And when it comes to change, when it comes to incorporating new ways of working, people are quite reluctant because they need to put out of their comfort zone. And that's when mental agility comes in picture, where you can incorporate different reframing techniques in order to have common understanding when it comes to delivering changes at an enterprise level. Social agility is all about making it sure that people connect with each other, people feel safe, psychologically safe, to share information, and collectively everyone work together irrespective of in which department, in which part of the organization they are working. And in order to do that, you have to take a different approach, wherein you need to have a common understanding, common goal with regard to what that organization is trying to achieve. So social agility focuses more on social density, understanding how people are connecting with each other. It also explores new social science theories based on a lot of research done, saying that okay, how you should form teams, how you can incorporate autonomy within a team, so on and so forth. Outcomes agility is more focused towards ensuring that when in today's world, when there are a lot of changes happening across the market, how you can ensure that all those strategic outcomes can be achieved by keeping everyone focused on single goal. And in order to do that, you have to have different style of leadership. You can't just rely on tried tested leadership styles which have been incorporated in a lot of organizations since start of industry era. So outcome agility talks about role of leaders and how they are supposed to create those dynamic strategy decisions or frameworks which will help everyone to respond to changing market conditions without putting too much stress on human being. Structural agility is all about understanding, okay, if you want to achieve certain goal, well, things are changing so fast, how we can still organize or probably self-organize ourselves in a such a way that there will be less impact or minimum impact on the health of the organization. And when we talk about health of the organization, we are talking about people not getting burning out, people not forced to adopt things, people have been provided support by the team or team leads when it comes to incorporating changes. And technical agility, which I have mentioned at the start of this session, is all about classic agility mindset, where you try to embrace changes based on what has been advocated in Agile Manifesto as part of 4 values and 12 principles. Now, when you start journey in enterprise agility, there are different courses which are available. First one, which is quite I'm passionate about, is Enterprise Agility Foundation. It's also known by Certified Change Consultant name. So this course looks into holistic approach, wherein assuming that how things work when you apply agile principles or practices in one particular team or organization. Now, beyond that, if you are facing a lot of resistance, beyond that, if you are facing challenges wherein few team members are not on board or leadership is not quite keen to be part of that change journey, how you can tackle with such challenges, and how you can, as a senior agile consultant coach, or even as a people leader, or team leader or technology leader, how you can incorporate that those changes without causing a lot of damage when it comes to people on the ground. So there are a couple of learning opportunities which are coming up. One is after a couple of weeks, 23rd, 24th, and another next month. Feel free to go through the website. There is a QR code, and reach out to me if you need more details. So let's quickly look into what different aspects of enterprise agility are covered in this course, which is quite foundational course, and how it's different from what we see typically done in any organization whenever there's agile transformation, digital transformation, which is implemented.
Welcome to the Organizational Pill. Episode 1. 5 minutes of great knowledge for change consultants who want to influence the world. Created by Eric R. Buhler, author of the best-selling book, Leading Exponential Change. Today we will talk about accelerated change and the basics of enterprise agility.
For many companies, enterprise agility is all about speed. They want to go faster, even if some of your customers disagree with me. I hope you agree if I say that enterprise agility, it's not about speed, but about delivering the right thing at the right time and in a sustainable way. But let me first start with some basics concepts, so we make sure we are on the same page. Perhaps, like me, you lived through the 90s, when creating a new product meant using well-established practices and methods. Everything was standardized. It was a culture of cumulative progress. Innovation occurred naturally, following processes that involved sharing opinions on known and controlled subjects. For example, you had an idea, I built on it, someone else built on my idea, and so on in a linear, predictable way. Back then, we knew what our next product updates would look like. We could even create prototypes that gave us a rough idea of where we were heading in the next 5 years. The future seemed relatively stable and safe. Taking firm steps to create a new service was something that required only well-known business skills. Knowing our client base and following the steps laid down by standard methodologies helped solve most day-to-day problems. As you've probably noticed, the evolution of the internet has changed the story dramatically. A company with a couple of employees can now create a service or product that alters the rules of the market and can be delivered in a matter of weeks. The world is more complex than ever before, moving and changing at an incredible rate. And shocking events and surprises are part of daily life. Something that happens at the other side of the world can massively impact our company and community in a matter of minutes. Society is also advancing astronomically thanks to artificial intelligence, enterprises using short work cycles and prototyping. And that is placing additional pressure in companies to adapt and to recover if they fail, or what we call resilience. You must first understand that human beings cannot adapt to change so rapidly, and that as a change consultant, you need to teach tricks, new practices, or mindsets that can be employed to overcome some of those obstacles. As you can see, humans are not prepared for accelerated change. We have to wait months, or even generations, to pass on learning and ensure that a group of people do not repeat the same mistake. Exponential change acceleration clearly places a lot of pressure on how people work, think, build, and share knowledge, thing that would increase conflict in any organization. When the speed of change defies comprehension, generally conflict increases if the right practices, procedures, and techniques are not in place. And this is where the ideas and concepts proposed by a mindset focused on enterprise agility can help to healthily increase the capacity and innovation deployed by an organization during accelerated change. Neuroscience of change, new frameworks, practices, and developing new habits can help depending on where employees are on the journey. But the most important thing to consider first, even before thinking about helping to change a company, is to assess the level of conflict the organization has. If the company has high levels of conflict and is not using the right tools or mindsets, then any change initiative will take longer and certainly require much more effort to gain momentum. In the next episode, I will show you, at a high level, what techniques and knowledge you need to master, depending on which part of the journey the company's employees are on, so people can embrace accelerated change and the company delivers more business value to their customers.
If you enjoyed it, share it with your network. In the meantime, it might be a good idea to grab a copy of Leading Exponential Change to Go Beyond Agile and Scrum. See you soon.
So that's about introduction to enterprise agility foundations, and this entire course, and in fact enterprise agility uh, curriculum is devised by Eric, who is founder of the enterprise agility and leading exponential change book, which was mentioned in that video. I will highly recommend to read that book. It has got a lot of interesting facts and models which you can always understand while applying any change at any level, not just at organization level. Same principles can be applied to team as well as group level. So in this particular course, foundational course, it's a something which will set you apart in terms of how to deal with changes by looking into by different types of agilities. This is a one pager which summarizes what typically done and what is the nature of work, or through what different stages any organization might have gone. Just to quickly explain, when we talk about technical agility, typically few decades back, all organizations were following waterfall as a development model. Eventually they evolved and started following agile, and now DevOps practices are incorporated in terms of architectural model. And nowadays, earlier it was legacy monolithic architecture, whereas now it's a microservices API. When you talk about applying all those principles, practices which are there in enterprise agility, what we are talking is that rather than just sticking with what's there at present in particular organization and just focusing on technical agility as a one aspect by introducing different agile frameworks and DevOps practices, we need to go beyond that. We need to go beyond that and tackle challenges or those issues which are faced at different level. And in this particular course and this enterprise agility university, what has been done, a lot of research has been done, and different frameworks practices have been introduced. Just to give another example, mental agility, you will be introduced to neuroplasticity, what happens whenever there is change, what happens in our brain, how we interact as a human being. When it comes to understanding and trying to implement any changes, you need to come up with the different strategies when it comes to communicating with people who might be at the bottom of that pyramid, when they don't care whether that change is going to add any value or not, compared to others who are at the top, who are more open to change, but they are clueless, they don't know what to do, how to do. And that's when, as a change agent, agile coach, or team manager, you need to wear a different hat and then provide them different type of guidance. So there are multiple ways, new techniques, new frameworks, new tools have been introduced across all those five uh, agility levels, which will be covered in this particular course. Another thing which I would love to inform is that Enterprise Agility World Conference is happening on 6th November, Saturday, and it's amazing opportunity where you can hear from a lot of world renowned thought leaders. Few people to mention, like Dave Snowden, who is quite well known person when it comes to Kinefin model. is going to be there. Then we have got Scott Ambler from PMI Discipline Agile, Al Shaloy, so on and so forth. So there are a lot of scientists, thought leaders who are going to come and talk about their way, their approach towards enterprise agility. So I'll highly recommend attending this world conference. If you are interested, curious, just drop me a note, and then I'll be more than happy to share a few discounted vouchers. So let me play this video where you will understand what's expected in this conference. Cool. All right. So there are different ways through which you can reach out to me. There are a couple of QR codes. So if you scan this one, you'll be able to connect with me on WhatsApp. I know a lot of people have joined outside Australia. So if you want to connect with me through WhatsApp, that's another way. And this is the website where you can find more details about upcoming courses and learning opportunities. Uh, if you are interested, feel free to reach out to me directly, or probably in chat window you can comment interested, and then I'll share additional information and material through which you can go. Another thing, as a surprise, there will be a lucky winner who has joined today's session. So randomly we'll pick up someone, and that person will get free ticket for the World Conference, Enterprise Agility World Conference. So stay tuned, and with this, Rimat, I reckon we are ready to have question and answer session.
Yeah, that's fine. Are there any questions from anybody? You can also mention it here when you are unmute. There are no questions yet in the chat.
That means either I have done amazing job or I have ensured everyone is sleeping.
Yeah. But I have a question myself then, Sandeep.
Yes,
That,
go ahead.
the conference, I saw that it was a 24-hour conference.
Yes.
So it goes on for one day, it goes on and on for all kinds of topics, I can imagine, that you can online can go to.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So thing is that the way this conference has been structured, it will start from one part of the world where sunrise is happening, and then it will end at other part of the world when sunset is going to happen. So it's going to cover entire world, and that's why it's called World Conference. And there are two tracks. So Spanish, I think Spanish is another language in which this conference is happening. And the pass which is available, there will be multiple tracks. You can join any part of the conference at any time and explore different opportunities to learn.
Okay, thank you. And for how long does this organization already exist? I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, so as mentioned on earlier slide, it got established in 2018. So Eric is the one who has done a lot of research, worked with different scientists to come up with this particular model, and it's pretty niche compared to other things. Like 2001 there was Agile Manifesto, then 2012 when business agility kicked off, and this got established just 3-4 years back. So in this particular, even if you go to enterprise agility website, you'll find heaps and heaps of artifacts research articles, and a lot of things which will come across my won't be covered in typical any other agile courses or curriculum, because what has been done in enterprise agility is we have come up with, or enterprise agility has come up with the different ways to tackle problems. So rather than just looking at emotional intelligence and empathy mapping, it has come up with something interesting called as reframing, wherein you try to understand other person's values and start behaving like that person, and then you try to connect with that person at different level. Even when it comes to change management, it has come up with different techniques, wherein you will be exposed to different scenarios, and give an
Okay.
option wherein you can tackle different people based on where they are in the change management or change pyramid. Yeah, so it's not just one size fit all. It's more tuned towards different scenarios when some people don't want to change, right? If I am there in
Yeah.
organizations working for 20 years, my goal is just, if I'm one of those guys that I should be made redundant, or I want to retire, why should I bother about changing? Or if so far I have got group of people who are reporting to me and they are just listening to me, I'm getting things done. Now why I should change? If something is coming and that is going to hamper my position in the market, I might not be quite open, right? Now in such cases, just talking about agile manifesto, talking about framework, talking about stand up values is not going to make huge difference. At that point in time, you need to connect with that person as an individual, understand what are his or her expectations, what are his or her values, and then
Yeah.
connect with that person to take them on the journey.
Thank you. There are some questions coming, Sandeep.
Yep.
Can you tell us more? This is from Sylvia, if I pronounce it right. Can you tell us more about your highlights from working with enterprise agility?
So first highlight was, I will tell my personal experience. So my wife want stability, whereas I want growth, and quite often we have got healthy conflicts. I will say, I can't say that apart from what she wants, the main highlight for me was the framing technique which I was mentioning earlier, wherein let's say that if you talk with someone, let's say someone is a project manager and he is quite keen on getting things done, doesn't matter whether people want to work extra time, overtime, or over weekend, his key focus area is just to get things done, right? And if you go there as a someone who is advocating change, or someone who is agile evangelist, how do you tackle with that person? Now, in order to connect with that person, if you start talking in your language, that person won't appreciate and understand and connect. He will say that, okay, there is another purist who is coming and trying to make my world disruptive, right? So my key takeaway there was, first understand what are valuable things for that other person whom you are coaching. So for that project manager, getting things delivered on time, on budget, might be topmost priority. Now, in order to do that, I need to appreciate, acknowledge from where he is coming, what he is expecting, and then start talking in his language by coming up with small experiments through which I can gain his trust, and then address same thing which he is trying to achieve without compromising on team health. In that particular context, probably conversation might be something to do with, okay, what is the topmost priority for the customer? Have we spoken with the customer? Who has set those timelines? Are there any other things which we can negotiate or probably deprioritize without asking team to work overtime or over weekend? And then showing mirror that, okay, if you force people to work overtime on consistent basis, there will be productivity dip, no one will be satisfied, and then there will be burnout, so on and so forth. So main highlight for me as an individual when I got involved in enterprise agility was understanding what goes in a human brain, understanding how we react, and then connecting with other person by embracing that person's values rather than just showing empathy.
Thank you, Sandeep. Next question is about, will you be mailing across the links to upcoming courses? Will you be mailing across the links to upcoming courses?
Yeah. So if you go back, so I'll mail. So we have got details. So what I'm going to do, those who have joined Zoom session, my understanding is that already you have registered. through registration form. So I have got your details. I'll be sharing link. So even if you go for Agility Academy, there you can find on the home page, there's a link for Enterprise Agility Foundational course. Yeah, in fact, what I can do for easy reference, I can share that link straight away while you can look into the next question, Primat.
Yeah, there's another question, one last question for now. Are there any examples of organizations who have adopted enterprise agility?
So there are few organizations. Greg, I think in New Zealand there was one organization which has implemented few aspects of enterprise agility. So Greg is another one of those early adopters of enterprise agility. Greg, do you have any examples to share? Probably is on mute. Oh, not sure. But I can share that list. There are a few organizations which are based in New Zealand who have adopted enterprise agility. One thing which needs to be kept in mind: enterprise agility is not a framework like a scale agile framework wherein you can lift and shift and redraw organizational structure and implement one particular framework. It's all about making those changes when it comes to teaching and mentoring change agents or leaders, how to tackle all those transformational programs. So there are bits and pieces and parts of that which have been embraced in few organizations which are based in New Zealand, as well as few which are based in Europe. I'll be more than happy to share a list of them, but there is a lot of information available in terms of case studies and what work has been done on enterprise agility website as well.
Okay, thank you. There are no more questions in the chat for this moment.
Awesome. So I have just now shared link for the upcoming courses. So feel free to go through that. If you are based in Asia Pacific, there is a special discount code available. You can reach out to me and I will share that with you. Another thing is, if you have got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. We are having these monthly agile orientation or leadership sessions, free sessions. Every month we talk about different topic. I know Rimat and Niranjan and Sami and few others who have been part of this journey since several months. So stay tuned. If you have already submitted registration form, you will be automatically getting invite for the upcoming session. Anything else? I'm conscious of time. I reckon we still have got 14 minutes. If anyone has got any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Hey, Sandeep Anand here. Probably I was not talking because it was just clashing with my, after taking my little one outside. So I'm still watching it on the phone and just, walking at the same time. So probably I'll get in touch with you. I found some interesting topics. Probably I'll cover up with you.
Sure. No worries. And in fact, what I'm going to do, this session is going to be recorded. So once it's done, probably before end of this week, I will upload it on Agility Academy's YouTube channel. So feel free to go through it again. You are connected with me on LinkedIn. If not, feel free to send me an invite. Give me a buzz. Those who have attended today's sessions, by default, you will get additional information about upcoming course, a few more material, and one lucky winner will get discounted, not discounted, free ticket for the Enterprise Agility Conference. Cool. Thank you
very much, Sandeep.
Thank you. I appreciate your time, and I hope you found this session quite useful. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Sandeep.
Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, Sandeep. Have a great day.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye.